Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another episode of iStarly TV. This is actually a news episode because if you haven't heard yet, Pokemon Bank, otherwise known as Pokebank, has finally been released worldwide. This week it was released in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand, I think a couple days ago. And it was finally released in North America this morning, meaning that you can finally download it and transfer all your Pokemon from your Pokemon Black, Pokemon White, Pokemon Black 2, and Pokemon White 2 games. Meaning, if you're looking forward to completing your national dex to obtain the Shiny Charm, now is the chance. This is obviously great news, and if you really think about it, it really hasn't been delayed for that long. It was supposed to come out on December 27th, but it was delayed because the servers, I think, crashed because of, like, I guess so many people got new 3DSs and Wii U's for Christmas that, you know, so many people were trying to log onto the server with their new devices, and I guess it just overloaded, and yeah, it made it so that no one could do anything on the server, and they ended up, for some reason, taking out Pokebank, removing it from the eShop. So I guess that they would prepare the servers for when it would finally be re-released. And then it was re-released in Japan probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now it's finally released for the first time ever in the rest of the regions. So yeah, like I said, this is great news. I'm very excited for this. I've already downloaded it, and I've already transferred a good number of Pokemon from my White and White 2 games. And just a little quick rundown for those of you who are about to download it and need kind of a little help, I guess. What you'll do is you'll tap on the eShop icon on the home screen of your 3DS. So as soon as you turn on your 3DS, you'll see the little eShop icon, which looks like a little orange bag or something like that. You'll click on that. It'll take you to the eShop, and Pokemon Bank should be one of the first things that appears on the eShop, because when you go to the eShop, there's a little feed that shows like games you could download, news, demos, stuff like that. So you click on the Pokemon Bank one, and if you cannot find it, then you can tap the search icon, which is kind of towards the top of the eShop, and then you can just search for Pokemon Bank and it'll come up. So once there, you just tap to download it, and you can either do download now, which you know, downloads it right then and there. It takes maybe a minute or two. It's not very instant, but yeah, it takes about a minute, I guess. It's a relatively quick download, or if you want to, you know, wait for it to download and go do something else, even though again it doesn't take that long, you could click download later. And what that means is when your 3DS is in sleep mode, it'll download it for you. So you can click download later, and as soon as it says it can start downloading, you just close your 3DS, set it aside for a couple minutes, and then come back to it, open it up, and Pokemon Bank should be right there on your home screen. Well, you'll have to click the home button then. Once you get Pokemon Bank on your home screen, you press A or tap it to go to the app, and from there you kind of like do a little setup process that takes a couple seconds. It's really short, but you have to kind of register, kind of thing. All you do is just follow along. It'll tell you the directions. It's really easy, and then you purchase your ticket, quote unquote, which is a free pass. It's free. All you have to do is just click purchase ticket. That's it. And even though it says purchase, you don't have to pay for anything because you have a 30-day free trial. And so starting from the time you activate your ticket until 30 days later, you can use Pokebank for free. And then after that, after those 30 days, you are charged $5 a year. So if you don't want to be charged $5 a year, if you don't want to pay for the service, you could probably delete the Pokebank app before those 30 days are up, which is fine because you can still use it to transfer all your Pokemon, and then once you transfer all of them, then you can delete the app. But Pokemon Bank is still a very helpful tool for storing Pokemon in your X and Y game. Like, for example, as for me, I've been breeding a lot in my Pokemon X, and just about all of my 30 boxes are pretty much full with Pokemon. So what I was able to do when I downloaded Pokebank was just kind of transfer Pokemon that I'm not really using, maybe spares that I have that I might need later on in the future, but I don't need anytime soon, I just transfer them up into Pokebank, and it clears up a lot of box space for me in the game. And then that allowed for me to transfer all my X and Y Pokemon into, or sorry, all of my Black and White Pokemon into my X game, and so now I can use those. So that's what Pokebank is just a bank for your Pokemon. That's all it is. I mean, it's very self-explanatory. If you want to transfer your Pokemon from White 2, or Black 2, you actually have to download an additional app called Pokemon Transporter, I believe. But this one's really easy as well. You can download it in the eShop by searching for it, or when you're using Pokemon Bank, there's an option that says download Pokemon Transporter. Yeah, so when you're using Pokemon Bank, there is an option that says download Pokemon Transporter. You just click on that, it downloads it for you, it takes you to the eShop. Again, it's another very quick download, maybe about 30 seconds or so. And once you have Pokemon Transporter, again, it appears on your home screen. It's separate from Pokemon Bank, but it works with Pokemon Bank. So when you want to use Pokemon Transporter, you make sure that you put in the game card that you want to transport Pokemon from into your 3DS. So if I want to transfer my Reshiram and Kyurem and Keldeo from Pokemon White 2, then I make sure that I take out Pokemon X from my 3DS and put in Pokemon White 2 into my 3DS. Then I go over to Pokemon Transporter, click the button, and it'll, you know, it'll follow a step-by-step guide, and it'll tell you that if any of your Pokemon in the game are holding items, the items will be removed, and if your bag is full, the items will be erased from your game, so be wary of that. So maybe clear up some bag space if you need to, although I think in White 2 there is no bag limit, so your bag will never be full. But and also if you have kind of sorry, if you have hacked Pokemon, those will not be able to be transferred, and those are Pokemon with maybe strange, like original trainer numbers, or maybe glitchy original trainer names, or maybe it's a Pokemon that was caught in a Cherish Ball that is not allowed to be caught in a Cherish Ball, for example. Like, say I have a Blaziken in a Cherish Ball, there has never been an event in which Blaziken is provided in a Cherish Ball, so that would be kind of a red flag for Pokemon Transporter, and it'll detect that it's not a legitimate Pokemon. So be wary of that. If you have a lot of hacked Pokemon that are poorly hacked, they might not be able to be transferred, but if you hack them the right way, just by editing their stats or something, then you should be fine, as long as you keep, I think what it looks for mainly is like original trainer ID, trainer name, stuff like that, where it was caught, and it makes sure all of that lines up. But anyway, if you have a box full of, you don't even have to have 30, you could have less than 30 Pokemon to transfer, but they have to be in your box 1 of that game. So if you're transferring Pokemon from your Pokemon White version, all of the Pokemon you want to transfer have to be in your box 1 in the PC. So make sure you do that first. That's something that I didn't know at first, so when I went to Transporter, it was a bunch of Pokemon that I didn't want to transfer, so I had to go into the Pokemon White 2 game, load it up, you know, and edit the box and make sure that I moved the Pokemon in the PC that I wanted to transfer to box 1. So once they're all in box 1, all the Pokemon you want to transfer, you just go back to Pokemon Transporter, you know, just say yes. It'll do the usual rundown of, you know, items can't be transferred, blah blah blah, and then it'll say, do you want to transfer these Pokemon, and it'll show the whole box to you so you know which ones you're transporting, and then you just say yes, and then it'll transport them. And then after that, what you do is you'll go back, you'll have to go back to the home screen, remove that game card, the Pokemon White or Pokemon White 2 or Black 2 or whatever, remove that game card, put back in your Pokemon X or Y game card, and then go to Pokemon Bank, and from there you'll be able to transfer the Pokemon that were transferred from Pokemon Transporter. I just said that word like 5 times in a row. The point is, another thing is, so when you're using Pokemon Bank, you'll see your in-game boxes on the bottom screen and your Pokemon Bank boxes, of which there are 100 on the top screen. And there is a box to the left of box 1 of Pokemon Bank 1, and that is the transfer box, and that'll have all the Pokemon you just transferred from your older game. So you move all those Pokemon from the transfer box down into your in-game boxes, and you're good to go. So, little quick rundown. I know it would have been more helpful if I had like a guide, like with video footage or something, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You might not even need that entire explanation, but yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know. Thank you all for watching. I'll post a link to in the description to a little article I'll write about this. That'll pretty much be like the same kind of thing, like an announcement of Pokemon Bank being released. And yeah, let me know what Pokemon you are most excited for transferring to X and Y. And I hope you all enjoy Pokemon Bank. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll try my best to answer them. Thank you very much.